Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC fight tonight. A little bit delayed because busy with a lot of things, and also I was playing Expedition 33, but that's neither here nor there. We're back, coming hot off UFC Kansas City. My good streak ended. I did not do so good that card. I put a lot into fighters I wish I didn't. That was a really weird performance from Michel Pereira. He was probably sick. That was a very standard performance for Abu Smagomedov. We were really hard and looked really good in the first round and then gassed out. Prates had an awful game plan where he just really wasn't trying at the beginning, take it too slow. Good win from Gary, but I'm gonna say, man, we're really overrating that. A lot of people are thinking that's like a legendary win and Gary's up for a title shot. He won 48-47. Like, if Prates just tried in the third round, Prates would have won. That was very... It didn't earn much stock from me for Ian Gary, to be honest with you. And then there's just a lot of fights on there, just pretty meh, to be perfectly honest with you. But now we have UFC Des Moines, which I'm not as high on compared to Kansas City. Kansas City, I thought was going to be a really... Oh, by the way, what the hell happened to Anthony Smith? My God. Left in a puddle of his own blood. Who set him up for that? Who did that? Enough about last card. This card is not as good. It's got some fights on here pretty solid, but ugh. Perfect example of ugh is Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic. Someone said that Juliana Miller is one of the worst fighters to ever step in the UFC, and I think that's just really not accurate at all when you have Shannon Ross. But then I look at Juliana Miller's record, because I didn't remember her. I watched her last fight. I didn't remember it. It's because it's, what, 2 years ago now? Yeah, it's been a while. She doesn't fight very often, and they're not very memorable, and she just... I'm sorry, I don't have much nice things to say about Juliana Miller. Supposedly, she has good BJJ. That's it. Her striking accuracy and her striking defense are horrible. Ivana Petrovic, not good striking, decent power for her size, but the thing is she's just got better striking defense. This fight sucks. I'm gonna go with Petrovic decision. That should be a very easy one. Miller's probably a massive underdog. What the hell is this? Minus 230 for Petrovic and then plus 190 for Miller. No. Nope. Thomas Peterson versus Dontel Mays. Mays, he really just seems like he doesn't give a shit anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peterson's a blob, but Mays, he looked even more like a blob in his last fight. He's been submitted. He's been finished by like Rosenstrike. He's been submitted by Walker. I just don't see any upside from him, and he's extremely slow. Even when he did try, and he's got poor grappling defense. Meanwhile, Thomas Peterson's got really good grappling. I'd say he has a little bit of a size not a little bit. He has a pretty big size disadvantage or disadvantage. I thought he was less than that. But yeah, he's got disadvantages there, but I just think he actually wants to win more. Like, I think he actually gives a shit. I do think he does. I don't think he's the best. Like, heavyweight division is pretty ass, but I think Peterson actually cares compared to Dontel Mays. I think Peterson's gonna get this to the ground, and I think he's probably gonna submit him. His submission game is actually pretty decent for heavyweight, so I believe didn't he get a really rare submission, like a key lock submission on Contender Series, if I remember correctly. It's actually been a few days out since I taped that, which is really bad. Yeah, I got a key lock submission. Oh man, that's just ugh. Yeah, give me Thomas Peterson. I'm gonna take it by submission, honestly. Mays is just gonna get finished. Sorry. Peterson minus 265 favorite, plus 215 for Dontel Mays. That makes perfect sense. Gaston Bolanos, discount Iliotoporia versus Kwang Lee. This is one of the weirder ones for me because I don't have a ton of these guys and I just watched their last two fights, honestly. Kwang Lee, I feel, is just overall the better striker. I think he's very tough and he has high pressure and high volume. Bolaños is a pretty good striker, but I've seen him get worked out pretty badly in grappling. And whether it be a win or a loss, actually, I think I've watched a few fights from Bolaños, actually, now that I think about it. I think I watched all his fights in UFC. I did, and his Bellator fight, yeah. He doesn't look, whether it's a win or a loss, he doesn't look particularly great, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I'm personally going to be taking Kwang Lee to get it done via decision. Meh. There's a lot of fights on here. It's just pretty meh, I'm not gonna lie, pretty decrease in quality. The closer these cards get to me, the worse they get, it looks like. Where the hell is this fight? Kwang Lee versus Gaston Bolaños. Oh wow, I'm going with the underdog. Plus 120 for Kwang Lee and then minus 142 for Gaston Bolaños. Mariana Rodriguez versus Gillian Robertson. Gillian Robertson has been improving. She's actually been getting quite better. I think I flamed her in the past for not being the best, but I think she's gotten better. Her striking has gotten better. Her grappling has gotten better and is already very solid as well too. It's just that she doesn't have a ton of finishing upside. I think she's been working on it, and I like her to get a potential finish in this fight. Mariana Rodriguez is not good. She's not good. I've been saying she hasn't been good. And the fact that they put her on UFC 300, I had people defending that fight. The fact that people were defending that fight was insane to me. I don't know if you guys remember, but I absolutely roasted UFC 300. Said it just wasn't going to be as good a card as it should have been. And that was one of the fights that I absolutely flamed. And lo and behold, it sucked. Yeah. I don't think Mariana Rodriguez is she's just very good one-dimensional. She's got good striking, but her fight IQ is just piss poor, and her sub defense or grappling defense is ass, but her submission defense is good enough that I don't think Robertson will finish her via submission, but I definitely think Robertson will get on the ground. I think she's gonna dominate her. She can get a TKO. That is absolutely something she can do with some ground and pound, and I believe she should be working on it. But I don't know. I just can't pick her on finishing upside. So Robertson decision. I'm probably gonna bet this, but I'm probably gonna do a double chance. Submission or a TKO or decision. Robertson is minus 325 and a plus 260 for Marina Rodriguez. Ryan Loder versus Azamat Bekoev. Yeah, I think Ryan Loder is going to lose this one pretty easily. I'm not going to lie. I don't have like a whole ton on this one. Loder has a reach advantage, but he's not really a striker. He's mainly a wrestler of pretty mid striking, to be honest with you. While Azamat Bekoev is more experienced, he's more powerful, he's got better boxing. He's not a grappler per se, but his takedown defense is... That's not right. His takedown defense is pretty decent. I'm gonna go with Azamat Bekoev. I think absolutely, but I'm going to be taking him by decision because I don't know about his finishing upside. Some of his wins hasn't looked insanely impressive, and Ryan Loder's a little bit more durable, a little bit tougher. Like, he's got some good boxing overall, but he has gone to a lot of decisions in the LFA, I believe it was. So, and his only finishes over Zachary Reese, so I don't know. Good old Skeletor. Everyone's being Skeletor's ass. Yeah, I'm going to go Bekoev decision. Minus 380 for Bekoev and plus 300 for Ryan Loder. Wow. Yep, those odds kind of factor in what I said. Oh, this tea is really good. All right. Yana Santos versus Miesha Tate. Fuck this fight. Did I write that in my notes? I did. I wrote fuck this fight. Yeah. Yana Santos. I always remember when she fought pregnant. Who did she fight pregnant against? Like, she was literally pregnant. She didn't know. It was on the Conor McGregor card, was it not? Was it Aldana? I think it was Aldana. It was McGregor versus... Yeah. She was... Oh God, was this on main card? Why was this over O'Malley versus Moutinho? I don't remember that being that high. What the fuck? Who allowed that? What was on the... Yo! Yo! Oh my God, I did not remember this. Why on earth was Ilia Topuria, Dricus Duplessis, Michel Piero, Nikos Price, Carlos Condit, and Max Griffin underneath Arino Donagana Santos? Why did I not outrage it that more? What the fuck is this? By the way, she's pregnant in this fight. But yeah, that's the most interesting thing I could do about this fight. This is not a fight you want to pick. Yana Santos is not good. Misha Tate was good way back in the day, and now she's old. She's old. She's slowed down heavily. I don't know who to pick. I'm not picking the very, very old veteran, but I'm not picking Yana Santos either. Her only win recently, it was against Chelsea Chandler. We watched her get knocked out by freaking Jocelyn Edwards last week. Who does Jocelyn Edwards knock out in the UFC? She lost to home. Rosa. And then the Aldana fight, that was only 3 fights ago for her. That was 4 years ago, basically. Yeah, get this fight out of my face. I'm not picking anyone for this. What are the odds? Misha Tate a slight favorite. Get that shit. This is garbage. This is a bad fight. This is a horrible fight. Why the fuck was her versus Arena Aldana over Ilia Topuria and Dricus Duplessis? Okay, but we're on the main card. Oh my God, that pissed me off. That upset me. I was writing my notes. I was annoyed, but that upset me. Why the fuck is Jeremy Stevens back? Oh, Jeremy. Seriously, why is he back for a one-off fight? This makes no sense. This is a one-off fight. They confirmed it. Did they just want him to get the record for most amount of losses in the UFC? Yes, he is about... If he loses this fight, he'll get the record for most amount of losses in the UFC. But, yeah. Yes. Jeremy Stevens, he hits pretty hard. He's been okay in the tail end of his career in bare knuckle boxing. He doesn't fight in MMA anymore, so I don't know how it's gonna transition. Mason Jones, if he mixes in the wrestling, I think he's got it. But even then, Mason Jones, I think he's pretty good on a brawl. I think Jeremy Stevens' power is still probably there. That's the last thing that goes. But just overall, I'm gonna be taking the younger guy, the more hungrier guy. Jeremy Stevens has nothing to lose in here other than, honestly, he might even want to lose to get the record for most amount of losses. That'd be a fun one to have, wouldn't it? Odds wise, Mason Jones is a massive favorite and minus 575, and then plus 425 for Jeremy Stevens. That's just asking to blow up in your face, by the way. Don't bet or parlay Mason Jones. Don't bet him at all. I think he's definitely going to beat Jeremy Stevens, but there's an absolutely screaming and aching 10% chance that's slowly rising as we're getting closer to fight week that Jeremy Stevens just flatlines him with some random shot that shouldn't flatline him, honestly. Like, every day we get closer, that 10% in my mind is growing. It's growing. It's going to end at like a 50-50, and I'm going to sit there and go, God, I'm glad I didn't bet. Cameroon Smotherman, where his names come from, versus Sirhe City. I just heard his name pronounced literally 2 hours ago. It's actually a good fight. Good prospect fight right here between these guys. Smotherman, he's got good power, but he's not as good as striker. Tons of volume, but he tends to just kind of shoot shots out there without really having a solid intention to landing. While Sirhe is going to be a much cleaner, a much crispier striker, and he's good at striking from the outside with a very long frame and a pretty good reach advantage. I like Sirhe Sydney to get it done by decision. Minus 135 for City, and then plus 114 for Cameron Smotherman. That's a good bet. It's a good bet right there. And now for a pretty interesting fight. Montel Jackson, guy, is lanky versus Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos undefeated, but his record is guys he fought of good caliber versus Montel Jackson, who I think is actually pretty solid overall. Montel Jackson has a pretty good record, and he's fought some pretty solid guys. The main thing is him knocking up Jamon Blackshear in like, what was it, like 20 seconds? 18 seconds. Yeah, I really like Montel Jackson in this matchup. The only thing that worries me is, as I point out, boy is very lanky, and Daniel Marcos has very nice kicks. Daniel Marcos' kicks can be a problem, and I do think he is pretty experienced as the fight goes on. We haven't seen Montel Jackson go to decisions a lot in his career, to be honest with you. He's mainly finishing guys, while we've seen more length in terms of like duration out of Marcos, but I think the speed and striking advantage is gonna lean towards Montel Jackson. Should be a close fight. I'm gonna go with Montel Jackson. I'm gonna take him by KO. We've never seen Marcos lost, we don't know, but we haven't seen his chin tested. If Montel Jackson could knock out Jamon Blackshear in 18 seconds, oh, short notice, ugh. Montel Jackson is going to be a minus 205 favorite. Daniel Marcos plus 170 underdog. What the fuck is this? Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez, or as I call him, D-Rod. I don't like this fight. D-Rod, I was never high on. I really wasn't. Santiago Ponzinibbio, I was high on back in high school, maybe. No, was he fighting when I was in high school? He was. Yeah. Yeah, Santiago Ponzinibbio, he's not old. He's old for MMA, but the main thing is he's been in the fight game for actually he's 38. I thought he was 36. Yeah, no, he's old. He's old as piss. He's very worn as a tire, and he's been looking horrible. He's looked horrible his last couple fights. He fights very infrequently. He just doesn't look good. Yeah, I got knocked out over Carlson Harris, but he lost to Muslim Salikov in a very know-nothing decision. That was disgusting. And I watched him get knocked out live against Kevin Holland, and he didn't look good there. That was a pretty poor-looking Kevin Holland, to be honest with you, as well. Daniel Rodriguez, on the other hand, even when he wins, I'm not impressed by him either. I'm very hard on this fight, but this is the third fight on the card. Like, look at last week's card, by the way. If you think I'm... Come on. If you think I'm being very hard on this card, last week's card, the third fight was Giga versus Onama. Didn't end up being as good a fight as I hoped. But on paper, really good. Brown Dalby, Ikram Muniz, we had those fights. And then we have this card, and we have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus D-Rod. Both guys are also very similar fighters as well, too. Both guys are kind of like pressure boxers with very low output, and they're really going to want to pressure each other. It can probably end up being a good fight, but just I can't count Ponzinibbio in a good fight, and I can't count D-Rod in a good fight, to be honest with you. I just think overall, D-Rod is just the better guy defensively, and also the younger guy. In this point in his career, I'm going to be going with D-Rod to get it done, but I'm going to be picking him decision because these guys are not elite level finishers most of the time. I know Ponzi is coming off a knockout, but yeah. And on to a pretty solid fight, actually. Reiner de Ridder versus Bo Nickel. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a big fan of Bo Nickel. I'm not gonna lie. I just hated how he acted after that last fight he had, which was against God, who was it? Who was his last fight? Oh my god, my brain's gave up. It was Paul Craig. His last fight against Paul Craig, like, he didn't look good, and at the end he said, I look great, and I'm like, you don't let that delusion get to you, and I think that delusion's getting to you. Bo Nickel, they really want to prop him up. They really want to give him like some stylistic matchups, but now they're giving him actually a decent test, Reiner de Ridder, but I think he's gonna pass this one because Reiner de Ridder, he's only grappling and his striking is piss poor. Bo Nickel's striking is not that good, but the thing is, it's not sloppy. He just throws 1 or 2 shots every once in a while from what I've seen, but the main thing is with him is that his grappling, I think, is better. Reiner de Ridder likes to be on his back and submit people from his back, and that's really the only worry that Bo Nickel has. But otherwise, Bo Nickel, I think, is a better wrestler, better grappler, and I don't think his ground and pound is that good, honestly, Bo Nickel's. But if you worked on that, I think he destroys Reiner de Ridder. But I do think Reiner de Ridder is talented, and I don't think Bo Nickel worked on that as much as he should. So I think that this will be a pretty closely contested battle. I like it. I like the fight, but overall, yeah, I'm gonna go Bo Nickel, get done by submission. I was contemplating taking this. No, I'm taking decision. Screw it. I'm taking Bo Nickel decision. And there's minus 325 for Bo Nickel and plus 260 for Reiner de Ridder. I wrote submission and changed it to decision. And on to the main event of the evening, Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. This is the best fight on the card by far. Cory Sandhagen is going to be 33 years old, 17 wins, 5 losses, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions, 5'11" in terms of height, switch stance, 70-inch reach advantage, a 1.19 takedown average, a 49.82% significant strike accuracy, minus 550 favorite. Ooh. Significant over Rob Font, Chito Vera, and Song Yadong. He has some more wins. He does have some more wins than that, but I'm really going to put in 2021 Frankie Edgar. Am I really going to put in Marlon Moraes? You really want me to put in Marlon Moraes? You really want me to put in 2019 Rafael Sanso? You really want me to do that? And Deiveson Figueiredo is going to be 37 years old, 24 wins, 4 losses, 9 knockouts, 9 submissions, 5'5" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 68-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.62 takedown average, a 58.47% significant strike accuracy, plus 375 underdog. Significant over Chito Vera, Cody Garbrandt, Rob Font, and Brandon Moreno. So, this is a weird one, mainly because I've been very critical of Deiveson Figueiredo's activity before. Not activity outside the cage, like fighting frequently, but when he's in the cage, he's pretty low output and low volume. It's because he puts so much power into his shots, and he's powerful. He dropped Chito Vera. Then again, I think Sean O'Malley should got credit for a drop on him, but he dropped Chito Vera, who had never been dropped officially before. He did it. His power is no joke. I did not think his power would fully carry over at flyweight, and I've been a Figgy doubter. I'd been a Figgy doubter for a while. And then I started fully going on the Figgy train, and he loses to Piotr Jan. I'm pretty sure I picked Figgy, right? But he's solid. He's a very good fighter. It's just that he's old now. Had he made this move to bantamweight like earlier, well, then again, there was not a good time to do it because he had the Moreno trilogy, so maybe not do the quadrilogy with Moreno, to be honest with you, but like if he moved up sooner, he could have saw a lot more success. I don't want to say I'm doubting Merab, but I like Figueiredo versus Merab, honestly, because the main thing is Figueiredo's takedown defense is absolutely excellent. It's hard to get him down to the ground. But now then, Cory Sandhagen. Cory Sandhagen is a very technical, very talented striker. I watch his breakdown and like instruction videos on YouTube all the time. He's good. He has some of the highest fight IQ you'll see. The problem with Cory Sandhagen is his fight IQ has gotten so high, probably too high, that he doesn't really technically strike as much anymore. He's never had power. He's really focused on flash, like knockouts via like flying knees and stuff like that, where it doesn't matter who you are, a flying knee from anybody, like especially someone who's 5'11", jumping extremely high, is gonna probably knock you out. And also it helps that it was against, Frankie Edgar and Marlon Moraes. Sorry, but I think I could have probably knocked him out. Yeah. Cory Sandhagen, he fights more haphazardly and cautiously now, and he really focuses on the wrestling. That will beat guys like a Rob Font. By the way, saw that fight live. The fight was horrible, but it's not gonna work against Deiveson Figueiredo. What's gonna work against Deiveson Figueiredo is old Cory Sandhagen that showed up against Song Yadong, or not the Chito Vera fight, or the Marias or Edgar fights on us. Even the Dillashaw fight. By the way, that was such a good fight, and Dillashaw should not have won that. Or even the one that showed up against Piotr Jan. Honestly, that Cory Sandhagen is the one that beats the crap out of this current Figueiredo. But if he tries the grappling too much, I can see Figueiredo potentially catching him, knocking him out. I know Sandhagen has a chin on him, he's powerful, but he's been dropped before. He's been dropped by very technical strikers. And Deiveson Figueiredo is a very powerful and very patient and very accurate striker. So it depends. It all depends on the game plan that we see from Cory Sandhagen. I have faith in him, though, because, again, he's not dumb. He's actually pretty smart overall. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Deiveson. No, I'm gonna go with my original pick. I wrote down Sandhagen decision. I'm gonna go with Sandhagen decision. Again, he's smart. I don't want to bake too much on a KO by Figueiredo, especially with his low output and being 5 rounds. So Cory Sandhagen did done by decision, and that is it for the card. And that is it for me. This card is okay. I hope it's good. I'm not going to say it because last time I said it was the exact opposite. The one time I voiced it out loud. But, oh well, forget it. This has been your boy Gomi. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And bye.